Oh, whoa, whoa.
Happy New Year,
Happy
everyone.
New Year.
Oh, welcome.
Welcome back to That's a Wrap.
With Rachel and Raidyn.
It's been far too long, but we're back and super excited. How have you been?
I have been fantastic. I've missed you too.
Yeah.
I had an amazing Christmas and a phenomenal New Year. How was yours?
Yeah, mine was good.
Yeah?
Good. Can't complain. But what I wanted to do the whole time was make this podcast.
I
and
know!
We're back. And we're here. What are we doing today?
I'm so excited. Okay, so what we wanted to do today was, since I know the past few episodes we've talked about specific movies, but since it's the end of the year and going into a brand new year, which is going to be amazing, by the way, I have a good feeling. Do you?
I got a good feeling.
Like, this year is gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be our year.
Yes, I love it. No, it's so much good things. So much good things. But we wanted to talk about our favorite movies that have come out this past year that we recommend, and what movies to look forward to coming 2025.
That's right. 2024 was a great year for film. I'm really happy with it. Oscar's going to be a crazy award season.
Good. I love it. The Grammys were good. Did you watch the Grammys?
I didn't watch the Grammys. I usually miss the Grammys.
Or wait, not the Grammys. The Golden Globes.
Oh, the Golden Globes.
Oh my God.
I saw the highlights.
Yeah.
Did you see that little interaction between Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel?
No.
It's hilarious. Do you know the lore?
No,
it's a whole thing. So they've
me.
had a feud for years, ever since like the 5th Fast and Furious. Like they hate working with each other. That's why The Rock's not in any of the new ones. And I guess so they've had this feud going on, and Vin Diesel was presenting this award at the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
And he turned to Dwayne.
Oh no.
And he's like, "How you doing, Dwayne?" And Dwayne was kind of like, "Hi."
It was like, Vin.
Yeah. So tensions are high. Anyway, that's all I saw. But
at least we didn't have any slaps.
Yeah.
No
well,
slaps.
you gotta wait for the Oscars for slaps.
Yeah, where's Will Smith when you need one? Just like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Keep my wife's name at your goddamn. Anyway.
Yeah. I was gonna I thought you were gonna go full into it. I'm like, all right. I'm going with it.
I'm gonna hold the will in for now.
Yeah. Good plan. Anyway.
What movie really caught your eye this year?
What movie that really caught my eye this year, honestly, was probably the most recent one that we watched, was Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
It was just freaking phenomenal. And I really felt that. But I think Wicked, which I haven't seen yet.
Gotta see Wicked.
But I've done so much research on it, I might as well have seen it.
But you know Wicked because you know the play.
Yes!
You know Wizard of Oz.
God, yes. So I'm like, I know Wicked, I know the story, but I think that's a close second because, first of all, I've listened to the soundtrack so many times. I've followed them on their press tour and done so much research on how they did certain things and the relationships between the actors on set. So I'm like, I feel like I've watched the movie.
And it's not over because we got Wicked for Good. They retitled the part 2 Wicked for Good, coming out November of 2025. So
Wicked for Good.
Wicked for Good.
That's the second one.
I know.
Couldn't they call
it's
it
because
Wicked?
there's a song called
about,
For Good.
What about
Yeah.
Wicked Too Good.
We are not in
Get
charge
Casey
of the
on the phone
marketing.
with Warner Bros. Right now.
Yeah.
Is it Warner Bros? No, it's Universal.
It's Universal.
What about Wicked
Yeah,
2?
Universal
Wickeder.
Studios.
Wickeder. I think
Anyway.
I think you should get into film marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Maybe.
No, so it's
excited.
it's going to be a huge year for Wicked. I mean, it's just not going to stop, so I'm pumped.
I do know Twisters was also really popular.
I didn't see Twisters.
Glenn Powell. Ugh. Yeah.
The man, the myth,
The legend.
the legend.
Yeah.
Glenn Powell.
Yeah. Yeah. I know Dune 2 also came out.
So Dune's one of my top of the year. Like,
Really?
really blew me away. I would say.
Because I've heard some mixed things. I've heard good, but I've also heard some mixed things.
Yeah, I would say because it's a part 2.
Yeah.
Of the first one, but it totally blows the first one out of the water. I saw it with one of our classmates. Shout out Gail Morningstar. You're gonna be seeing her on all your
Gail.
screens
We
one
love
day.
you, Gail.
I saw it with Gail, and we were silent through the whole thing. But
Yeah.
the movie ends, and we look at each other, and I'll never forget the way Gail was like, "That was fucking awesome."
I
It was just incredible. And it's got one of your, favorite guys, Austin Butler, in a role that you would never expect. So different from Elvis and the Bike Riders.
Oh!
Which, another great one from this year.
The Bike Riders? Oh, I literally can't even speak. First of all, Tom Hardy, Austin Butler, the whole cast was so committed. And the whole story, I love that it's based off a true story.
Yeah.
I love that a journalist in the 60s, it was the 60s, right? It was the 60s, actually followed around the Vandals before the Vandals became a big gang.
Yeah,
in that
it's
time.
like the 60s version of commenting on a TikTok saying early.
Yeah, early.
Early. People do that.
No, but I love how, I forget the main actress's name. Oh, I feel horrible.
Jodie Comer?
Jodie! Yes, I know it started with a J. Her accent.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, you know? Everything was,
You're
and
good
it
at
was
that
talking
accent.
about Chicago and...
You're real good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Some people are really good at impressions, and some people are really good at accents. I think I like doing accents.
Yeah.
I've been trained
You got a
in
good
a lot of
Keira
accents.
Knightley. Yeah.
Everybody says it's just
can
British.
We get a little rendition?
It's just British. It's just a British accent, but everybody says I sound like Keira Knightley. Should I do the first 5 minutes talking in a British accent? Should I just do this?
Do that, and then if
Past
you
the first 5 minutes.
and if you want to play at home,
Right.
you can just close your eyes and listen to Rachel, and you can just picture Keira Knightley, circa Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Anyway, you don't have to do that, but
No, that's fine. It's I freaking love Keira
and
Knightley. I love
and
her.
it's a cool connection. I mean, what a great year, because not only that journalist played by Mike Fast, he was in another little movie this year called Challengers. Did you see Challengers?
I've heard of Challengers. I didn't see it.
Yeah, so he was also in that one.
Okay.
And I can tell that, I mean, this guy's new, fresh out of theater school,
Mm-hmm.
and I think based on those two performances alone, he's going to be doing things.
Good. Well, obviously, I love how he was the relaxed guy, kind of the wallflower in the Bike Riders, because he was more observing. He was following Benny. Benny! Oh, I
You'd
love
have to kill me to take this jacket off.
this jacket off. You have to kill me. It's like,
My
nope,
grandpa,
don't want to do that.
I asked my grandpa about the Bike Riders, and he said, I couldn't get past that first 5 minutes with Benny, in that bar. And it's
Oh, when he's at the pool table and his hands are down, and she's like, who's that guy over there? And she's like, oh, that's Benny. You don't want to talk about Benny. You don't want to date Benny. Nobody wants to date Benny. And she's like, well, why not? And he's like, well, she's always getting into stuff. And then all of a sudden
Little
it
do you
looks
know.
over Benny, and Benny's like, poof, and does the slow eyes up, and I'm like, if you just hit me with a sledgehammer, that would be about the same effect as that man had on me in about 2 seconds.
It's Austin Butler.
And Tom Hardy always kicks ass with everything he does. I love him.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people have different opinions about Tom.
No, I actually think he brings us all into everything. It's usually like the project can either be hit or miss, because he was also in another Venom movie this year.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that.
I know that it came out because I do love Venom.
And he's the best part of it. I mean,
He always is, though, because he just always commits so much, and then he puts his all, and every character he plays is so different.
so different. And you don't expect, because the Bike Riders is like peak Tom Hardy. It's what you expect from him. But then Venom, he's so funny and charming, and you're like, Tom Hardy? You can do that?
And then all of a sudden you watch him in Peaky Blinders, he's like, I always pictured you having like a big old ring in your nose. Like the way he talks.
Yeah.
And he's like kind of evil, but not evil. He does like some shady shit.
Yeah.
But no, he plays he's not Tom when he's on screen. He just becomes the character, and that's why I really respect him as an actor. Yeah, I respect all of them.
Have you heard of Late Night with the Devil?
I
No.
love it. It's so good.
You've seen it?
Yeah?
Yeah.
The expression on your face is a little concerning right now,
Um,
but I'm just
No,
gonna say,
it's one of those movies that I feel like maybe won't get the recognition at the Oscars, because they can be kind of disputed sometimes. But it's a horror movie. But but
very political.
It's super original. This film, it's about this broadcast in the 70s based on a true story about this late night host who doesn't have the best ratings, but he wants to get that show that's gonna get him to like Johnny Carson level. So he invites this woman. She does like what's the word? She works with. She's like a paranormal investigator, and she brings this girl in who seems to be possessed by the devil. So the whole movie, 90 minutes, but it's in real time. So it's like a live broadcast of the night. And when they go on commercial break, you actually get the behind the scenes of them like talking behind the curtain and stuff.
Oh, that sounds like something I would totally watch, because I've recently gotten into horror movies.
Yeah.
Because I've done so much research on a lot of them that now I don't just watch them for research. I'm actually watching them too, like for enjoyment.
Oh, there's plenty of horror movies that have such substance. I mean, there's a lot of schlock, as they say, just like garbage or whatever. But there's horror is such a great genre if you know where to go. Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't get the recognition it deserves all the time, and I think that's wrong, because it's still. I know I say this word so much in our sessions, but it's like it is art. It is a type of art.
It's art. You know, like the Oscars hate horror, but The Shining was the first horror movie to get nominated. Mm-hmm.
And what was another one that got so much flack this year? It Ends With Us with Blake Lively.
Oh, I didn't see it, but have you seen it?
I did, and I think they did a really good job when it came to bringing some really dark topics to light, because I feel like so many people, women, men, they can relate to what was going on in that whole film, but there was so much drama with it, especially with Blake, and now with both of them now, with whatever stuff is happening regardless with that movie now. Yeah. So as much as I watched it, and at the time I'm like, okay, it was a very serious movie, very emotional, for me anyway. All the drama has kind of taken
you out of it?
Well, it's just taken I think what the movie was supposed to be, it's kind of taken it out of where it was supposed to be.
Oh, it's like that thing, sometimes you have to separate the art from the artist. I know it's a controversial take, but
like not everybody is nice, and I have never met Blake Lively. I've never met a lot of actors that have maybe some like negative stigma surrounding them. So I don't have an opinion. I can't have one. But
we're all human.
We're all human.
I mean, for Ryan Reynolds to marry you, you gotta be some sort of charming.
You gotta be some sort of charming. But you could still be very good at your job, and if you're working and you do your job right, I don't know. There has to be a balance. There's got to be a bit more of a balance.
Would you recommend it?
Oh, I would recommend it for sure. I think.
Out of 10?
I'd give it a 6.
6 out of 10?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Like, would I watch it again? Probably not.
Right.
But that's just for me. I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody else. What was your favorite movie of the year?
Well, I have a bit of a recency bias, and this happens all the time. I'll watch a movie and I'll fall in love with it. But it takes time for me to be like, okay, maybe I should be more critical about this kind of thing, because... But
you watch a movie like 3 times before you're like, okay.
Yeah. So I've seen Nosferatu twice now.
Oh, I knew it! I knew we were going to bring that. I want to see it so badly.
And when people say cinema is dead, go watch Nosferatu, because it's more alive than ever.
First of all, can I just say Lily Rose Depp looks so much like her father. And has inherited his gift of acting.
Yeah, I mean, it must help growing up with someone like Johnny. Like growing up, she must have been so comfortable just to express herself in any way that she wanted, because she's so committed and locked in every time I see her on screen.
Well, that role must have been a lot of work.
From what I hear, it was, because she didn't hardly have a stunt double, and it was physically demanding. There's a lot of she gets possessed at one point, and because there's a lot of she's shaking and spasming, and it's all her.
Yeah, no CGI. I did do research on that part. There was no CG, nothing. She literally, all of the jerky movements, the spasms and all that, she just totally embodied that. I'm like,
To come to work every day and do that take after take.
Oh, it must have been exhausting.
Yeah.
But so badass.
Yeah, I love her.
There was another movie that I had watched. I don't know if you... This was obviously not this year, but The Possession of Hannah Grace.
I don't even know if I've heard of it.
With Kirby Johnson?
Actually, no.
Okay. That was one of the horror movies that I had watched and was extremely impressed with the physicality that it took Kirby, because she's a dancer.
Okay.
She's a dancer. She's an actor. She's dating Luke Eisner. You know the singer in Viola?
No.
That's okay.
But do tell.
The Possession of Hannah Grace, basically this body, Hannah, the character Hannah, is brought into the morgue, you know, and the girl from Pretty Little Liars is in it. The girl who plays... What is her name?
You are not hitting my demographic at all.
No, that's fine. I'm
like,
just trying to
who are
give you the
these people?
story.
No.
Hannah Grace was possessed. She ended up passing away during the possession.
Yeah.
So when her body's brought into the morgue, and the whole movie takes place in the morgue, and Hannah is still possessed. The body is still possessed. So
Are they like locked into this morgue?
and
With this
she's the
possessed-
doctor. She's a doctor in the morgue. So it's about the doctor all of a sudden realizing that Hannah is technically still alive. Because all of a sudden the body's damage is being healed, and then people all of a sudden start disappearing and dying. And Hannah had to basically she basically was in her birthday suit the entire time, but like with a whole lot of makeup.
Wow.
But she can bend and contort
Yeah.
herself in
Do you
ways
think
that
it
I'm like...
takes some kind of like circus training, like contortionist, or like
Oh, I'm sure. Well, she's a dancer.
yeah,
I'm
dance background.
gymnastics, all that. But she
Yeah.
literally, she did this thing, and I know a lot of people can do this. Like, I can do a bridge, but I could not all of a sudden, like, move my shoulder around.
Yeah.
And she just did shit.
What was it? Like Lily Rose Depp also did this thing like a bridge, but it's like the fact that she can do it is, you know, it's whatever, but she did it really fast, like 3 times. And I'm like, that seems straining on the body. Like she
Yeah.
just popped up, bridge. Like,
Yeah. Well, they could have sped up the footage.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe, but totally, no, it's hard. It's hard. And if you don't do it every day, for a lot of people, it's difficult. But no, like I'm a dancer and I do yoga and all that stuff, and I know how much it can take on your body if you're not used to it.
For sure.
Yeah, so, but no, that was another movie. I was just so impressed with the physicality, so I'm excited to see Lily. And Bill.
Yeah, Bill's the best. I mean,
Because he was Pennywise in...
he's got a crazy story. You know, he wasn't getting roles for a while because he's so tall. And apparently he auditioned for years and years before Pennywise even, and he was just, they were like, oh, sorry, you're just too tall. Which is so crazy,
He's
but
so good.
He's so good. And I mean, there's this little show on Netflix called Hemlock Grove.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've heard of it.
I've heard of it, yeah.
He's in it, and it's like just him, no makeup. It's fantastic. So you get to see him as raw as possible. But obviously, where he shines is these like character roles, because he did Pennywise. He's great. But this role,
Now he's Orlok.
in Nosferatu.
So good.
He's such an inspiration because of his training. He's committed vocally too. He loves the voice of a character, and he did opera lessons just to reach a low bass register.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I'm such a geek.
I know,
I
I'm a
love him.
geek.
I love him so much.
It's so inspiring because I'm like, I do that as an actor. I am that committed that I will literally commit my day, my night to totally absorbing and molding a character. And so when I work and get to see other actors that are just as passionate and just completely dive themselves into something like Orlok, like Bill in that role, it warms my heart. It's completely inspiring, and I'm like, I'm a nerd just like you.
Yeah, oh my
Like,
God.
I'm just like you.
I could go on and on.
I know.
And also,
Yeah.
we can't see her face. Casey's giving a face like this.
She's doing like the eyebrows.
It's like a very Ryan Reynolds.
Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Oh.
There might be some some vampire
Oh.
sex. Anyway.
Oh. Okay, see, because I haven't seen it yet, and I want
sorry.
to.
Spoiled the best scene of the movie for you.
Oh. I mean, I read. I just have to put that out there, and so that whole statement should just basically.
And
I'm
oh
a
my
book
God,
talk
look,
member.
That movie was filmed on film, not digitally, which I think is fun. Whenever people say it was filmed on film, like, it makes me feel something I haven't felt in years. I love it.
I love it.
Love it.
First of all, how cool is that? Especially if I got to work, like, imagine all of a sudden you're on set, you're like, okay, we want to do this, like, completely authentically old school black and white, and bring out all the old equipment. Imagine doing a film, and they bring in the rolls.
That's my dream.
You know, and all of a sudden when they would be like have to, you know, edit and cut that scene, they literally had to cut the scene out of the frames,
And
like,
then,
of the roll,
That's why we
and
get
then
the cutting room floor.
cutting room floor.
Yeah.
I just
That's where I
feel
don't
like,
want to be.
No,
That's where I don't
you never
wanna-
want to be. Some of my best work is on the cutting room floor. But that's with every actor. It's
And
just the way it is.
and just a little recommendation, because I love this director, Robert Eggers. He's like I'd love to work with him. So he did Nosferatu.
Yes.
One of my favorite films of all time is The Lighthouse, and it was filmed on film. It was also done in black and white, and it's done in like a 3:4 aspect ratio, so it's like a original silent film.
Yeah.
That film is like my bread and butter. Like I've things that I've worked on, like things that I've directed even for class, in black and white or whatever, totally inspired by that film. So
I
I
love it.
recommend it. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so what movies do we have to look forward to? 2025.
It's a great year. It's a great year.
I do know for sure a few.
In no particular order, have you heard of Sinners?
Sinners?
This is a movie that I didn't even hear about, but I kept seeing trailers for.
Yeah.
And every time I saw a new trailer, I was like, okay. So it's
me all about it.
Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler, who worked together on Creed and Black Panther, which are
Ooh.
pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But this is a vampire film, but it's very original. I don't think there's ever been anything like this. It seems like it's like a rural setting, like Southern America. I don't know what to expect, but I do know that I love Michael B. Jordan as an actor, and I love vampires.
I love vampires.
So-
So I'm like, do you know what? I would be. Can I just say I've always wanted to play a vampire? I've got like this little mini series on TikTok called Life with Demon, where I play 2 characters.
Yeah.
And so I love embracing and like playing fantasy characters like that. I have a lot of fun because I love comedy.
Oh, come on. I mean,
I
that's
love
like a
comedy.
dream role because you have so much freedom to express yourself.
Well, and just
Vampire?
I
No.
think so.
Comedy? That's the express. That's
no,
the,
I just
this
like
role.
I
No,
love
I
the
don't-
whole concept. Like this is what I based my series off of was
Yeah.
just like the light versus dark and how, you know, the beauty of it, because technically it's the light, like the angel and the demon, and yet they're best friends.
Yeah.
There's the good and bad, and they drive each other crazy.
Yeah.
But
You just reinvented
Good Omens.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I've never seen it, but I gotta
never
watch
seen
it. Yeah. Casey
Who
loves
knows?
that show.
but so Sinners is coming out. Okay.
What's your pick?
I know Happy Gilmore 2
Oh my God.
is also coming out. I
That is
just watched the
so
trailer.
crazy. Yeah.
I know. Who'd have thought that they would make a sequel?
I've heard rumors for a while, but I all thought it was kind of like not true. But I saw that trailer and I was like, we're actually getting Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh, I'm excited.
I watched that movie so much. I have it on VHS back home. Like
Oh, VHS is such a lost art. I watched all my movies on VHS when I was little.
my mom's tried to get rid of them so many times. But
No, don't.
I have them locked up in a vault
Good.
in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Because they're going to be worth something someday. I don't care who says what.
No.
All my Disney princess shows are going to be worth something. Robin Hood on VHS.
Oh, yeah.
Any garage sale. First of all, that was one of my favorites was Robin Hood.
It drives my family nuts, I think, but sometimes, maybe, I don't know. They're probably watching this and be like, what? But
like, what?
when I'm at thrift stores, I always look at the VHS section.
Yes. I do that
and
too.
I have cool copies of like Grease and Back to the Future, but I also have like these crazy collectibles of like the Wild One with Marlon Brando. I love VHS.
Oh, that's amazing. That was a good find.
Casablanca too. I have that on VHS.
Casablanca.
Yeah.
Casablanca.
Casablanca.
No, I love that. Yeah, okay, what else? What's on your list?
Oh, Well,
Because I have
we already talked about Wicked Part 2, but that's
Wicked
gonna
Part
be-
2, yeah.
It's going to be so good. It's a great year for superhero movies. I don't know if there's like, if you're that fan of superhero films out there.
Can I be 100% honest and do not judge me in the slightest? I need you to repeat this. We listen and we don't judge.
We listen and we
don't
don't judge.
Always add a heart afterwards. When you're texting, I always put a heart after we listen. Like we don't.
Okay.
We listen and we don't judge. Heart.
I didn't realize that was a thing,
I
but
don't
I'm going
think
to
it
do
is.
it now. Heart. There we go. I am not the biggest fan of superhero movies.
How dare you? Sorry, I
just,
judged.
I was like, you're not supposed to judge, Raiden. God.
Kicking him off for that.
Yeah.
That's a contract.
No,
It's a
no.
breach of
listen,
contract.
listen, it's a saturated genre. I think Marvel had its moments.
Yeah.
I think it's over.
I'm not
However-
saying they don't have good movies. It's just if I'm going to sit down on a Friday, Saturday night with friends or family, superhero movies are not usually the first genre that pops into my head. I'm usually more like a comedy.
Yeah.
Let's put on like
And that's okay.
drama,
you know?
romance, action. I am a big action
Yeah.
person.
I think where
but-
superhero movies flourish the best is when it's like a genre piece. Like
Yeah.
The Batman was one of the best superhero movies of the last few years because it was
Yeah.
it was like a Fincher-esque, like the movie Seven. It was like a detective thriller. But I think I'm gonna make a prediction here. The 2020s are the decade of DC.
I think so.
Because Superman is coming out this year with a new Superman. Rest in peace, Henry Cavill.
Oh
Not Henry
my
Cavill. He's not
God.
dead.
No, he's not. Oh my God, the
But,
world would be shooketh if
no-
Henry passed.
Yeah. But
God forbid.
But this Superman movie just looks like it's gonna be a new direction for superhero movies, and
I'm so upset by that, by the way.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump back because I'm upset. And I could get this fact very wrong. But this, when it came to Henry and The Witcher
yeah,
and Superman, because if you've never watched The Witcher, watch it. My favorite show, by far. Absolutely freaking incredible. The cinematography, the sets, the costumes, the acting, everything is top tier, season 1. And season 2, season 3 are absolutely phenomenal too. But the fact that they were not willing to reschedule some things just because Henry had 2 commitments. He had Superman and Witcher, you know?
happens, you know.
And so neither of the project wanted to work with each other, so they're like, all right, Henry, bye.
And honestly,
Wrong.
Henry was a great Superman. The only problem was the studio. Like whoever was running DC at the time wasn't it. But what I'm happy for is because it's a new showrunner, and I think they know what's up. I think whatever they're doing with those Superman movies and the Batman stuff in the DC wasn't it. And that's why they were so bad at scheduling with The Witcher. Like,
Oh, I know, but they
people were-
lost so many viewers. I'm like, do you realize how many people are just gonna not watch it?
Yeah.
Because he was Geralt of Rivia. He was Geralt of Rivia, and you cast the perfect person, and now I'm like, as much as I love the Hemsworth brothers, I do. They're lovely. Not The Witcher.
It's hard to cast your lead of all people. I mean, maybe it's easier to do a supporting, but
Maybe.
a lead is like the face of the show.
Has such an iconic kind of look. Like it's like
And how emotional the cast was afterwards when they said their goodbyes at the last interview of their press tour before The Witcher season 3 kind of came to an end. They were so emotional, and they did like a public good, send off to Henry because he wasn't going to be filming season 4, obviously. And I'm like, I wanted in that moment to turn to the production company and went, shame on you. Like, do you see this? Do you see a perfect team that you're just splitting apart for no reason?
No reason.
I'm gonna get all Norwegian here in a second.
You are.
Just need to calm down.
It's okay.
Have you seen a series of Ungentlemanly Warfare?
I thought you were going to say unfortunate events.
No,
I have not.
so good because that Henry and the gentleman who plays Reacher.
Reacher. Oh,
I'm so terrible with names today. I don't know what is going on with me.
I'm lost. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
he's awesome. Anyway, him, and then the Henry Cavill. It's based off of a really true story that happened during World War II. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
freaking awesome. I watched it on my flight here.
I love a good war picture or a war show.
but it's like comedic.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
their
that's a different
relationship, the group themselves are basically a bunch of criminal nomads for hire, but yet they're ex-military, they're whatever. And they get hired by Winston Churchill under the carpet. Nobody knows. And he's like, if anybody finds out, I did not hire you to do this, and you will go to jail. I'm just telling you this in advance.
No.
Just telling you now, if you get caught, you will go to jail. I cannot tell anybody that I hired you to do
I don't know if
this.
I could take that kind of pressure.
But they're like, we've been to jail before, whatever. So they take the job, and these 4 absolutely incredible, talented Navy SEAL types take the mission to basically go out into the Pacific and infiltrate and take over Nazi fleets. So basically they're like sinking ships. And
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is a show?
Good. No,
Or
a movie.
And it came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's on the list.
It's a good one.
2025 is also a great year for horror, I've come to realize.
Ooh.
Have you been hearing about Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein?
Guillermo del Toro. Sorry, I had to say it.
Del Toro.
Del Toro.
Have you heard about his Frankenstein?
No!
I think what this year's Nosferatu was, like Robert Eggers' Nosferatu just makes sense.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro and Frankenstein just makes sense. I feel like it's a director who is so perfect to tell the story, and it's coming to Netflix this year, and it's got Jacob Elordi, it has Andrew Garfield, and Mia.
Goth.
Not Goth.
Okay.
It's Alice from Alice in Wonderland.
Oh!
What was her name? Wachowski? Something like that? It's definitely not Wachowski.
Not
It's definitely not Wachowski.
Casey, fact check. Can you fact check?
Anyway, so I can't remember. I think Andrew Garfield is the monster, and Jacob Elordi is a young Victor Frankenstein.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh!
Yeah. It got me.
Let me guess. He's
too.
going to be respectfully shirtless about 95% of the time. Here's hoping.
Look, in the original books,
Just
Victor
kidding.
Frankenstein is a malnourished, sleep-deprived, ugly, bedhead mess.
You're right.
All right. Well, actually, he's not ugly. He's, I think, very handsome because he's rich.
Right.
Okay.
And also, he's in love with his half-sister.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll see if that happens
Actually,
in the
not
movie.
half-sister. Adopted sister.
Okay.
Yeah, and hey, we all have problems to talk through.
I was about to say, I'm like, I thought you were going to, we all have siblings that we are. I'm like, no, we don't.
No.
Take that back.
But what's cool is that Andrew Garfield is playing the monster, so you're taking like someone who's, he's not everyone's cup of tea, but I think on the internet he's like conventionally attractive.
Yeah.
So you're taking him and you're making him the monster, which is kind of cool.
Interesting.
I'd love
I'm
to see his
excited.
take on that. Yeah.
I'm very interested to see that.
Yeah.
I think we got
It fully is Mia Goth.
Is it Mia Goth?
Mia
I
Goth.
thought it was. Oh.
Do you know what? That's not
But
surprising.
it's better. 'Cause I love
not-
Mia Goth.
Not surprising in the slightest.
It's also Oscar Isaac as Victor Frankenstein.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it says on here. I might be
But look it
wrong.
up because Jacob Elordi's in.
Jacob
Yeah,
Elordi's in
Jacob
it.
Elordi is in this, but for
Oh.
some reason Google is saying Oscar Isaac. So
No, you're right.
Go on
Oscar Isaac.
IMDb.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
on IMDb.
And Oscar Isaac's fantastic too, so that's cool.
Well, it's just super exciting. Basically, is what we're coming down with is we've got a lot of things to look forward to this year, and we're going to be doing an Oscars episode here pretty shortly. Pretty shortly. So if you'd like to tune in, get dressed up in your finest.
Pop that champagne. Wear your
finest-
best silk,
Yep.
and
Yeah. Basically, we are super excited for 2025. We're very thankful for 2024 and all of the amazing pieces of art that have come from 2024. And yeah, we just wanted to wish everybody a happy new year and Merry Christmas, since we didn't get to see you guys during Christmas.
and happy holidays all around. Whatever you do celebrate.
Yeah.
Cinema is so back. It's so
It's amazing.
freaking back, and I cannot wait for this next year. And it's gonna be a great season for That's a Wrap. I can already tell.
I know. So we will see you guys shortly during our next episode.
Till
And,
then,
yeah.
that's a wrap.